Okay, YouTubers, we're gonna do some ribs today. We're gonna do some baby back ribs. So I'm gonna show you the process, what I go through. It's gonna be about a 6-hour process. We're gonna do a 3-2-1 today with some adding on some mopping and sauces and such. So let's get going. I'm gonna show you step by step what I do, and you can follow along. All right, so this is what we're starting with here. Pork loin back ribs, otherwise known as baby back ribs. I want my baby back. Here's the label on it, so you can see what weight we're dealing with. Okay. And then here's some items you might want to get ready. Most people use like a salt and pepper for the rub. I'm gonna go with a little sweet money today. Feeling like sweet money. And personally, I do not like mustard. I think it's disgusting, but it doesn't, the taste doesn't come through. So I use a binding agent as a little bit of French's mustard. Rub that on there. And there's going to be my my mop. My foil juice is going to be the Honeycrisp apple juice, organic, unfiltered. Then you're going to need a little bit of brown sugar. You're going to need a little bit of butter. And you're going to need the Reynolds wrap. All right. So that's all the stuff we're doing today. I'll get going on trimming up the skin off the back of these ribs, and we'll see if I can not cut myself. All right, so I'm gonna get the skin off of this one. I just wanted to get it out of the wrapper so you're not watching all that. Let's start with my knife, with the dull side of the knife. And I got a little paper towel here because this is really slimy stuff. It's hard to grab a hold of it. So we'll just take a little paper towel, get that ready to go. I like to start underneath the end here, just get a little trim going. Some of this stuff is been in here a while. It's good to have it a little bit warmer, not exactly not room temperature, but not super cold, like fresh out of the fridge. It just makes it a little harder for some reason. So I'm gonna get a little bit under this membrane. First one came off real easy. So this one I'm going to just get it going here a little bit. Then I'll show you how you could just pull it off. We don't want a repeat incident of when I made my brisket. I chopped a hole in my finger, bled for days. This end looks better. I'm going to start from this end. So I'm going to take the dull end of the knife, I'm going to get it back here just on that membrane, right along a bone. I usually go right along a bone, and then get it started so you can grab onto it. Sometimes you got to go up 1 or 2 ribs. I'm not a professional at this. I'm not a professional cook. So maybe you can put in the comments if you have some other tips to getting it done and getting it started a little easier. I'm trying to build up my subscriber base, so if you could please hit that subscribe button down there while you're watching the video or after you're done, I'd really appreciate it. All right, so I got it started, got this little flap going. So now I'm gonna grab my paper towel, I'm gonna grab onto this flap and grab onto this other end and gently pull back. You can see it's coming up. I don't have a cameraman today, so let me get close so you can see that. If it all comes off in one piece, I'll be amazed. Normally it rips, and then you gotta start over. See that? You want to get that membrane off, otherwise it stops. See, it's ripping right there. Otherwise, it stops the smoke from getting to the back of the meat. That membrane just protects it. So you want to get all that off if you can. Now, and all that white stuff, you can leave that on there. It's just that thin membrane that you want to get off of there. So I'll finish getting this off, and then I'll pause it so you don't have to watch that again. And then I'll get to the putting on all the rest of the binding agent and the herbs and getting it all ready to go. Get these ribs in that smoker. We got about 6 hours of smoking to do here. This one's going to be difficult. All right, there she goes. So we'll go ahead and pause this, do the next one, and then I'll mop it up. All right, got the smoker turned on. I'm gonna set it to 350. Do a little clean burn. Make sure the pellets are going. I got a little burn off going right now. As soon as I'm finished with the ribs, I'll bring them out, turn them back down to 225, and we'll be ready to get going. All right, next up, we're gonna get our binding agent and our rubs. Most people, especially the Texas people, salt, pepper, boring. That's all they do, okay? We're not gonna do that. I'm gonna put a little mustard on here. Get this all nice and lathered up. Ugh, mustard's so gross. But you can't taste it, so that's the good part. Okay, so we're gonna go with Sweet Money Championship Rub. This is a winner, okay? Always go with the winner. Same thing here. Get those edges. So I catch it along the edge and then smash it on. That's a good technique right there, boy. One down. I'm gonna start with the bone side this time. That way my rub doesn't rub off. Oh, my shoulder. Okay. We've given the grill about maybe 5 to 10 minutes at 350, just to burn off any germs or bacteria or anything that's on it right now. That way, by the time I get back out there, I'm ready to lower the temp, slap these on, and get to cooking. It's gonna be a long cook. Ooh, and I'm 30 minutes behind schedule, so gotta get her going. Don't want to rush the cook, but we do want to cook before the sun goes down, or eat before the sun goes down. Then I got to come back in and sanitize this cutting board, because normally I don't use the wood cutting board because it's not great for doing pork. Okay, it's go time. I've got the pit boss ready to go. The burnout's done. I'm setting it down to P6 to do a little bit of just heavier on the smoke cooking. Instead of setting it to 225 and leaving it, I'm going to try this P6 setting this time and fluctuate between P5, 6, and 7 just to see what temperature I can keep this sucker at. Okay, so let's get these ribs on the grill. The bone side down. The middle one's going to cook more than the rest, so I'm going to actually stick them in this way this time. I'm going to try to go with the thickest part of the meat to the center. I got a little grill, so hopefully we can make it all work. There we go, she's all in. So we'll just leave those alone now. Keep an eye on this setting, but we're going to leave them sitting in here for about 3 hours. And we'll check in every hour to hit it with some apple juice. Okay, ribs are on the smoker. Now I'm going to take this time to make my juice for inside the foil. Like my daughter's bowl, I always like to cook with this bowl. I'm going to take about a half a stick of butter. I'm going to soften it. And I'm going to also put in about 3 tablespoons to 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. Let's see what we got open here already. Yeah, looks like about 4. Put it all in there. Get that nice and soft. Pop that in the microwave for a little bit. It'll be ready in less than 30 seconds. And what I'm going to do this time with this apple juice, I'm going to go with the Honeycrisp apple juice. It looks really good. Got it at Stater Brothers. I don't know if you guys have Stater Brothers by you, but that's what that is. Honeycrisp is one of the sweetest apples in my experience. I'm going to use about a half a cup of that. Pour it in there. So when that gets done in the microwave, I'll combine all 3 of those. A little for me. Oh, that's good. So that's the consistency on that, just kind of that all nice and gooey together. I'm going to go ahead and drop that in there. So you want to get all the chunks out, let that get all dissolved up together. Well, I kind of want to get this done ahead of time so it's ready to go. So when you wrap in your, after 3 hours, you're going to do this juice in the foil, and you're going to put it back on for 2 hours, and then you're going to open just the top of the foil, leave it all in there, and then you're going to do the brown sugar on the top at that point. Okay? All right, just a little update. I was outside checking the smoker. I haven't really used the P setting on this Pit Boss too much, but come to find out that P7 drops you to about 206, 205. I want to stay at 225. So I'm gonna try, actually P7 dropped me too low, so I'm going to P6, and then if that's not high enough, I'll fluctuate between P5 and P6, but I want to stay at that 225. So I'm gonna go back and check on it in about 20 more minutes. All right, it's been 2 hours, so we're gonna check in. I already mopped them once. I'm gonna mop them again. I don't have a mop, so I'm improvising. I had it set at P6, it was 190. I had it set at P5, it was about 180. So I've now gone to just doing 225. It's dropped to 190 now that I've had the door open, but I'm just setting it at 250 now. I had it on 225, bumping it up to 250. Did my first mop 1 hour in, and I'm going to do my second. This is just apple juice. Alright, we'll leave it alone. Shut her down. If you're looking, it's not a cooking. Alright. We finally reached the wrap time. Gotta turn the camera around. Time to wrap these ribs. I'm gonna go with the sauce first that we mixed up earlier with the butter and the brown sugar and the apple juice. And just bait it really good. Now I'm going to take the brown sugar after we do the sauce, because we don't want to rub the sauce off. We're going to do just a little brown sugar right now, because we're going to do brown sugar at the end. So just a little bit of brown sugar right now. Most of it's going to be at the end. Want to put the bones down, the meat up, and go ahead and give it a wrap. Okay, we're going to do that 2 more times. First thing I like to do is to make a little boat to catch the juices before I put the ribs in. Kirby, I'm not going to drop anything. I promise. Oh yeah. Looking good. Boy, that smells so good. Okay, one more. Oh, it's juicy. Nice and juicy. Smells so good. Keep that lid closed so we get the juice. Smoke flowing over here. What are you doing over there? I said, what are you doing over there? This one's a little bigger, so save some of the juice for it. Like I said, I'm going to do a bit more brown sugar at the end, so I'm just putting a light coat this time. All right, pop it back on, 2 more hours, then we'll pull it and finish. All right, we got them in there for 2 more hours. Okay, pulled them out. We're down to the last hour. Brown sugar, back in for an hour. All 3 of them. Looking good. Okay, got to get this thing opened up. Get some more brown sugar on it. There's 3 of them. Oh, this looks so good. These are super low calorie, low carb ribs right here. Not. All right, I'll show you what it looks like when they're back in. All right, so that's how they're looking when they're ready and back in there. So we got 1 hour. Oh yeah, looking good. I want my baby back, baby back.
They should leave the large sticker hang over it. Wait, what's the point of the knife?
Oh yeah,
The juice is out.
nice and juicy, baby.
Gross.